But anyway, we went and rode the bamboo boat after riding our dirt bikes. I'm using my data, and it was fun. I was with my family, and
Morning, we're on our way for a family trail. Are you excited?
yes, can't do anything
Yeah!
about
Say
it.
good morning.
Anyways,
Say good morning. Good
Good
internet's bad.
morning!
I'm really sorry.
We're gonna have breakfast.
So far I
in the
decided, but
car,
tomorrow,
so
guys,
that
I'm
me,
gonna be
Hagi, and my
back.
boys will have
But
energy
tonight,
for later.
I want to share to you about
Coffee.
the the
And my
series called
boys
the
are
Dirt
eating their
Bike
chicken. And
Organizer,
Jedi is
and I'm doing
in
this to
his
grow our
food then
sport
because he's
here in the
dating.
Philippines.
Window tayo.
Thank you, Lord, for a
Experience
beautiful
ano.
Be
day.
together, united. The sport can grow in this nation because I believe the Philippines is an off-road nation. When I say that, we have so much trails, beautiful nature. It's even better. I was
Good
able to
morning, we are
compare the
here.
trails here, the
We're
nature here.
unloading.
We are very rich
This is
in
our trail
natural
guide,
resources.
Leo. Say hi,
And
Leo.
Mommy,
what's the easiest
Leo
way
and
to
Fritz
use
are young. Well,
to
not
go
so
around
young,
and
but
see the
they're
nature?
in the
Right?
world of
If
dirt bikes.
you can
still.
hike, walk,
Kasi I'm old.
but then
Leo
the
is
great thing
young.
is you ride
Because I'm old.
your bikes. Okay?
Pero young at heart, young at
So
heart,
that's
young at heart.
Ride the
what it's
pickup, mommy and myself and
all
Jedi.
about.
While the twins will ride with Kuya Leo. Yes.
Anyway,
Nagutom na si
here's
Jedi,
what
so
I
he's eating.
here. Now,
Bum,
I want to share to you
bum,
about
bum.
the topic,
Oh.
the dirt bike organizer. Okay, and what are the struggles that we encounter when we organize races? The first struggle that I want to share that I encounter when I organize races is the riders themselves. Okay, in the last few episodes, Peppo Ruby shared about the struggle of finances. It cost a lot to build the track, to run a race, because you have to pay all the marshals, you have to have um, expenses for the trophies, medals, media, and preparation. Ambulance. And I shared to you the importance of having equipments, importance of having rules and regulations that Namasa can help you out with, them being the FIM. But tonight, I'm going to talk about the importance of knowing how to be firm with the rules and regulations, be firm with your position, because as an organizer, that is your role. You cannot be a people pleaser. You cannot. So the number one issue problem that I encountered when I started from transitioning from a professional racer, transitioning into a coach and an organizer is this: people will not understand you. You can never please everybody. They will make noise. They will try to undermine you. They will make some gossips and chismes in Tagalog, because I don't bend to what they want. I don't bend the rules. Why? As an organizer, you have to uphold the rules. Okay? Now, check this out, guys. The problem with us is this: when we organize a race, you have rules. First things, riders don't want to register to their category. Number one problem is sandbagging, sandbaggers. So people will come and they want to race the C class and they're already a B class rider. They want to race the B class when they're already an A class rider. They're already a pro, they want to race the intermediate. They're already an intermediate, they want to race the novice. They are novice, they want to race the beginners. So that's why in our race classes, we eliminated the beginner category. We just have a beginner category who are newbies, those who have been riding for just under a year. It's their first race ever. First race competition, first time that they lined up with fellow riders, first time ever. So that's the newbie class. Okay? Because there's so many sandbaggers out there. I have an experience, guys. There was this guy, he raced in our race, and he said he's a beginner. And then you know what? It's so easy to check. I learned about him. I looked at the Facebook, and I saw back in 2012 earlier days he's already doing humongous jumps, already clearing long jumps or even the triple. And I was like, I just scratched my head. Why did he fooled us? Here's what: if you stop, even though you stopped for 20 years, but if you were an intermediate rider, you stopped for 20 years, you're not a beginner, because the skill that you have, the knowledge is here. Your body is not as strong, but the knowledge in how to go around it is already there. The experience is already there. So you cannot race in the beginner's class. So that's the first thing. Second thing, these goes for the riders of the 50cc, 65, 85, and of course the vet class or executive class. People cheat with the age. That's why you have to maybe around this time. Anyway, I was saying, do not sandbag. If you're a former pro, you cannot go down to intermediate. If you're former intermediate, you have your own class. Go race the expert vet class. Okay. So I was saying about, please, about cheating about the age. The motocross age for riders is January 1 of the year. For instance, my age, I'm 41. Okay. So on January 1 of 2021, I'm 41. Okay. If I turn 41, for instance, or 42, if you are 8 years old on January 1, even if you become 9 years old on January 2, that is your motocross or supercross age, January 1. Okay? The beginning, the first day of the year. Whatever your age is on January 1, that is your motocross, supercross age. That's why it's important for us that you have your authenticated birth certificate. Or for adults, you have your maybe valid identification card. It can be a passport, it can be a driver's license, it can be any ID or government ID where you were compelled by the government to submit a authenticated birth certificate, and that you were granted those passports, those driver's license. Okay? So people cheat there. In the executive class or veterans class, it's 40 years old. So there are still young guys who are around only 33 or 40. But if it's a class like it's for 35, then you have to be 35 when it's January 1 of that year. So that's the first problem that we encounter. Number one is sandbaggers. Number two is they cheat about their age. Okay? And number three, this is a real problem here in the Philippines. They don't want to pay registration fee. That's so sad. Guys, if you're gonna sign a waiver and you didn't pay any registration fee, you know what happens? Your waiver is invalid. Why? You didn't even know. Because the thing is, the sport is very dangerous. So here's the thing: if you know that the sport is dangerous, there's a waiver right there. And then when you read the waiver, it says there that the organizer, the track owner, will pay if you get injured or even if you die. Now, if you really still want to join, not just your signature, you will pay a registration fee. That's what it's all about. So that the organizers, the sponsors, the stakeholders will not be liable to your, if ever something happens to you. You don't have any claim or any chance of winning in the court, in the public courts. Why? You even paid, right? And that payment in the registration fee with your signature proves that you understand and that you're going to be careful, that you are well aware that it's a dangerous sport, so you're going to be careful, you're going to race. So that's the three top problems: sandbaggers, they cheat their age, and number three, they don't want to pay registration fee. So what is my um, suggestion as an organizer? If you're going to organize race, do no waiver, no registration, no practice. No waiver, no registration, no pit area or no paddock. They cannot even enter that paddock area or area for riders. That's the only solution. How you do that? You enclose the track with a perimeter fence. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow for part two of this. The problem that you might encounter if you're going to decide to follow my advice that we can grow the sport by organizing grassroots level races. And I hope you learned something. This is Santa Maya MMF Live. Good night. I have a lot of students tomorrow morning in the MMF Academy and the MMF Shack. Learn to ride in basic off road. Keep growing your sport. And thank you, Lord Jesus, for tonight.